Good morning everyone. In this video I'm going to be analysing the live price action for EU and DXY to see what opportunities are available for today. You're going to see my strategy and my analysis, so if you're interested in those then please stick around. Right, we're going to start off on the daily, EU on the top, DXY on the bottom. Now just before we go into it, of course it's American Independence Day, so we'll see if that plays around with the DXY movement. And definitely it's going to affect the NY session. Also, first week of the month, NFP week. Once it gets to these Thursdays and Fridays, price might not behave typically. So just things to bear in mind, right? We'll still look at valid opportunities. What's the daily showing us? Well, yesterday we had quite a bullish day, right? After this bit of indecision, buy side, sell side liquidity, this clearly pushed price higher and we closed out with that bullish day and that bearish DXY. So it does seem like price has chosen this direction, though we can't see loads of course here on the daily, but now I would assume we've got a new bullish leg and we're in some sort of premium, and now we're in a discount, right? We've now finally broke these lows and stuff on DXY, so fairly bearish last week. And we may have a new structure on our hands, right, to go bullish from on EU. Now, previous daily highs and lows are still intact at the moment for buy side and sell side liquidity. So I think we should go down to the 4 hour and see what that shows us. So the 4 hour looks nice and clear to me today. We've got our clear high, low, high, 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 low, high, high price action going on now. Since we held this area as support, we swept the low of this leg here for sell side liquidity and then began to break the structure, forming that bullish structure here. So just to point out, that's why when you hear me talking about candles closing beyond structure, I prefer to see that if I want to see if that direction is going to continue. Of course, when you close out as like a low test doji or a sweep, sometimes it is just that liquidity grab and you may see things begin to switch. So just something to note. In general, even on the lower time frames, right, that we identify things like this as sweeps when they close above, and it's properly confirmed personally to me when we start breaking below it. So we have our new bullish leg here from this low here to this high. We have our bearish leg on DXY from this high to this low on the 4 hour. So that's what I see. We obviously have a few imbalances and gaps back towards the premium that price may be drawn towards. We have an order block here that I've marked out at the, I suppose, more the extreme end. After this order block here, everything looks mitigated on the 4 hour. So that would be the main area of support, I would imagine. But of course, we have imbalances before there anyway. Same here, imbalance here, and then a major order block and imbalance right at the extreme up here. So we'll see if price makes it up there. But of course, these imbalances and old order blocks here may just provide that resistance. Now also on DXY, just looking at price, because we've obviously gone a lot further up in this previous leg here on EU, so we are quite high up and we're well above these highs here. Obviously on DXY we've only swept those, so that is good sell side liquidity here as well to possibly sponsor that pullback. Now, so just to read into price a bit more, yes, we have a bearish leg, but we are now well within a discount. Previous day took sell side liquidity from old lows. Bullish leg, but we are well within a premium also. So price may pull back right towards a discount and these price draws. So that's the sort of picture that I'm seeing and creating. So other than that, there's not much else to talk about on the 4 hour. So let's go down to the 1 hour and see what that shows us. So just starting out zoomed out for now on the 1 hour to show the liquidity in higher time frame price action. So on EU, this is our 4 hour leg from this low to this high. Now zoomed in on price on the 1 hour, I've measured out this leg to this leg, because obviously we had some price structure here and pulled back, mitigated an hourly POI, and then we went on to make new highs. Overall, of course, there's things that agree here. We have the 1 hour structure where within a premium of both regardless, and we have discount POIs in both of the legs anyway. So it doesn't make too much of a difference, but it's just to keep an eye on where you are in the 1 hour price leg. So where that 4 hour order block was, we also have a 1 hour order block. right? But just above it, we also have a 1 hour order block. So the weakness of this 1 hour order block here with imbalance is just that we have another imbalance and a higher time frame order block below. So price may well, if it pulls back to a discount, come to this more extreme discount option there. But we also have this one to measure out to see if price shifts structure from there as well. More importantly, in agreement with DXY, where I said we've taken that sell side liquidity from here down in the discount of both this 4 hour leg and 1 hour leg, if we look, we also swept these previous 1 hour highs here. So it just barely swept it where this previous daily high is. However, buy side liquidity sponsorship nonetheless, you can see that we had a bearish move from there, but it may not be over. We may need to seek out these imbalances and POIs, right, to find some support from and seek out that sort of sell side liquidity. So I think that's in agreement, right? Bullish leg, bearish leg. So yes, the trend may have shifted. However, it's looking like it can set us up for some counter, trend trades towards these discounts and premiums because we've taken sell side and buy side liquidity on the higher time frames. We have our price draws as well, here and here. Plenty of imbalance that price would want to fill. So I think that looks pretty good there. There's not much else to discuss, but you can see we have our Asia sort of range going on here. And I think price has just swept buy side liquidity not long ago. So even more buy side liquidity and some SMC divergence here, which we will see clearer on the lower time frame. As I said, we have those price draws towards that premium here with all of this imbalance and imbalance above and some order blocks and whatnot. So with this sponsorship, my bias now is fully counter trend to go bearish, right, with this buy side liquidity, sell side liquidity from the high time frame, just waiting for these internal lower time frame signals to possibly go short from. In saying that, let's go down to the M15 and see what opportunities there are for today. Right, I'm just going to start off here on the M15, but I think the M5 might just be better. You can see we've swept that Asia buy side liquidity and we are in a premium, and previous day we took buy side liquidity and obviously opposing on DXY we took sell side liquidity, and we failed so far, of course, to sweep that Asia low. So we've got SMC divergence indicating strength on the lower time frames for DXY to go higher, which means to go lower on EU. Now that's very obvious. We've got all of this very corrective price action here that's like sell side liquidity targets, and even down to here, right? Everything was very rangy here. Unfortunately on the M15 there's not much structure to go off. It would have to break the actual lows here and then pull back for me, because that would just match my strategy much better to the order block. So we'll see how that happens. So this is drawing up on the M15, possible order block being created here, right? Breaker structure around this area, possible inducement during this pullback if it's corrective, and I'll set my order here, stop loss just above the high, and we can just go towards our target draw down into the discount. So I think that would look great on the M15 with SMC divergence, right? So I do like this if this happens to happen. I would prefer to get in even earlier, which is why I'm going to go down to the M5 to see if that will happen, and we can take out this trend line here and stuff, so I wouldn't have to trade against a possible sweep of sell side liquidity here. But I'm still favoring that bias downwards, and I still think this looks good. So that's option one at the moment. So now on the M5, because we have caused a little bit of structure, we've pulled back again. So it does look like after London swept Asia, we may actually either be pulling back and sweep again, which would be fine, because we do have that SMC divergence. For all we know, DXY is going to come and get rid of that. But if we sweep this again for more buy side liquidity and then break down below this low here, I would enter on the M5. So either way, even if we hold this high, if we come down from here, break this internal structure here, and then pull back to some lower time frame order block around here, we can go short with that direction, with that bias from a premium. We've taken buy side liquidity yesterday on both pairs and sell side liquidity, SMC divergence ultimately with this low here, break of structure here. Obviously the cycles on our side too to head for the other side of Asia once you've swept the highs. Possible inducement during the pullback, lower time frame order block, and then we set our order stop loss just above the highs again. It would obviously be a slightly smaller stop loss. We're going on there. So we have the M5 and sort of M15 options, because the M5 one may happen first. The M15 one, if it breaks down, it may just continue breaking down. We don't know, but I think that looks good. Of course, we'll get that same break above on DXY above this high, then it will pull back to aim for that premium. So that's what I'm favoring. Those are my main options to go with my short bias today. So I hope that was clear. I hope you gained value from that. Any questions, let me know in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.